Welcome to a Barnacle Summary. In this series I'll be summarising Barnacle characters' storylines, toys, and even their appearances in other media. Today's episode will be about the Avtauran, Photok. Starting off, Photok began his story as one of the Avtauran created by the Great Beings. He started work on the Great Spirit Robot, and during the Great Cataclysm, that is, the fall of the Great Spirit Robot, he assisted his tribe in setting up homes in the fallen stalactites. During this time he developed a close friendship with fellow Avtauran Radak, and when the Avtauran were suffering attacks from the lightning-like Avoka, the Toamata were summoned to protect them. Photok later returned to his homeland in the caves below the southern continent. And now that covers the backstory, let's get on with the canon. Over 1,000 years later, the Makuta attacked, and Radak was transformed into a Chromatauran. Photok inexplainably survived with his bright orange armor, and was one of the Matauran that teamed up with the Toa Nuva. His partner was Pohatu, whom Radak led into a trap, preying on Photok's past feelings, and Antros promptly blasted the both of them with a shadow blast, and was able to trap him, Pohata, Kopaka, and Solek. Lewa and Tamna were able to stage a rescue in which Kirop was captured and tricked into leading them to the Shadow Leech Hive. Once the group was inside, they were deceived via illusions that the Mask of Life was a giant worm creature. When they attacked the Ignika, it was angered and started to suck the life out of them. Photok was the first to notice this, and Pohatu was able to stop the mask from killing them. This gave the Makuta enough time to use a power scream and knock the Matauran and Toa out. They woke up in separate rooms, but were escaped easily when Pohatu shared his mass power around. Sometime later, they snuck it back into the Makuta's main base while the Makuta were destroying the remaining village, and ambushed them upon return. During the fight, Photok and Pohatu made use of their newfound lightspeed powers and circled round Antros, delivering thousands of hits a second. Icarax helped by making the trio have a case of increased gravity and plummet down to the depths of the swamp. The duo landed on a stalactite thanks to Pohatu reading Photok's mind, and when the battle was over, the group surrounded and interrogated Mutran on where the Makuta were going. Mutran responded that they were going to the Swamp of Secrets, to which the group followed. A while later, Takanuva met with the three Avtauran and got Radak fixed by letting him get screamed at by Kalak. Then Photok and the other Matauran left to Metra Nui, where it was taken over by Pterodax, and after the events of the Metra Nui comic arc, the Matauran left the Great Spirit Robot to have a new life on Spherus Magna. Photok is all Avtauran, has the ability to shift his armor to be whatever color he wishes it to be. He could also access some basic light blasts, which would be channeled to his hands or blades, along with his special ability, being able to move with his partner at the speed of light. Photok was introduced into the 2008 story as a tie-in pack with the Pohatu set. He clocks in at around 14 pieces, and according to the fan site Brickset, he was a $7 toy at his release, and now goes for $14 new to about $5 used. His orange parts were very uncommon at the time. His foot, which was probably one of the best parts of the set, was only available in the Photok set until Rotor came out in the Hero Factory line. His mask is also very popular, and like other Avtauran, is a noble version of his Toa's mask. A few battle cards were released with him and Pohatu respectively, but they were limited and released to Singapore, Sweden, Finland, Hong Kong, Croatia, Estonia, and they mainly used stock image from the Fantoka waves. Photok did not appear a lot in the story. He was in 3 of the books from that year and 2 of the comics. He did show up in Takanuva's blog, but that's where his appearances in the story stop, outside of games and assorted media. Although, on a fun-related fact, all the Matauran in the Legend Reborn are recolors of Photok and Tamna. So technically speaking, he could have appeared in that movie. Fan reception wasn't exactly high, as with all the Avtauran. People did, however, enjoy his mask, and his orange recolored Vaki feet were quite nice. Complaints about a good lot of good mocking pieces were a reasonable point against all the Avtauran sets. However, this one did slightly negate it with its rare color of orange. It should be noted that all sets from Solek's era had brittle joints, and that really shouldn't be used against this set in particular. Photok appeared in the popular Battle for Power game on the Barnacle site. He appeared in the Pohatu game as a teammate. He showed up as a playable character in the Matauran drop, and was, like all Avtauran, typically some kind of thing to protect or avoid, depending on which you chose to play, Makuta or Toa. Links are in the description below if you still want to play that game. It's on Biomedia Project. Photok is a small meme due to his appearance as an Avtauran, and is typically included in the Solek vein of jokes. But otherwise, he was a pretty much forgettable character. He didn't have a lot of value outside of Radak, and he swiftly disappeared after the events of 2008 and, selling him. So he would have probably never appeared again after the serials, and this really ends the video. Goodbye, and feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you feel like it. Adios.